Welcome to our first mini-sode of Risktakers and Trailblazers, our Women in Insurance podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest whom we're very excited to bring on board here, and that is Tinsley English. Not only a highly esteemed operations leader within the insurance industry, but she's also a keynote speaker and the visionary creator of the G-Force Code, which was a transformative system dedicated to unlocking the full potential of women in leadership. Tinsley has over 2 decades of experience in global insurance and a passionate commitment to female empowerment. Tinsley continues to be a driving force for change and resilience. Our full episode with Tinsley is coming up next month, so stay tuned. You're subscribed and you hit that notification button so you don't miss anything. But it's very important. We really, really want you to go and on Amazon and pick up a copy of her new book called Grit, Growth, and Gumption for Women. Both Diane and I are in the middle of it, and we're highlighting, taking notes, and it's amazing. It also comes with a workbook. So without further ado, welcome to the podcast, Tinsley.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here. I absolutely love what your team is doing. Now, I do have to ask this question. Are we recording?
We are recording. We are officially recording.
Awesome. I'm just thrilled to be here with you both today. Thank you for having me on this inaugural mini session.
Amazing. So we have a few questions for you.
Okay.
The first question, Tinsley, is about your career journey. So can you share with us what inspired you to pursue a career in insurance, in the insurance industry? And how did you find your way in leadership and mentoring?
So I really fell into the insurance industry. I was nearing my middle of my junior year in college, and I had an international business major and I really didn't know what I was going to do. And my mother said, I don't care what you do, Tinsley, you better have a job the day you graduate. So pick your elective for the business school, real estate versus insurance. I thought at some point I wanted to go to law school, and because insurance had a lot of contractual elements to it, I picked that. It wasn't super strategic. But the first day in class, my professor said, I know you guys are checking the box, but 95% of the kids that are graduating in this major have a job or an internship the day they graduate. So light bulb went off, 1 + 1 = 2, called my mom maybe a few months into it and said, I'm changing my major. Board. Tinsley, you are super social and you like to have fun, and this is so not you. And I kind of reiterated the fact that the job, the internship, and she was like, okay, run with it. So I did. And by that summer, I had an internship in San Francisco. And then 6 months later, I had a job locked down for graduation. And needless to say, almost 25 years later, I'm still rocking it, loving it, having so much fun, meeting people. I have been on the global brokerage side. I have been on the carrier side for 5 years. I've spent time in a privately held agency, on a bank-owned agency. So I've gotten a lot of t-shirts and met some really amazing people along the way. And it just continues to excite me. So I had many years on the agency side where I was delegating work to and trying to steer the paths of junior colleagues, whether they be rising account managers, assistant account managers. And I found that I was leading in a way that was not self-serving, but it just was not super effective. I was a really good individual contributor. Like, I can get the proposal out. I can make the client fall in love with us and secure the relationship. But I didn't know how to lead anybody except for the way I led myself, which is like super diligent, focused, keep your eyes on the road, don't veer off the path. So long story short, I really was promoted without an instruction manual, which I think so many people are in this industry. So that's where this need of this book came from. I wanted to provide a blueprint for that person that I was early and mid-career. so that they don't have to make all the mistakes that I've made. You can make your own mistakes, but at least you have a little bit of a toolkit to work from.
Amazing.
I love that. I also love that you asked us if we were recording, because I think ever since that failed episode, everyone should verify that that we have hit the button.
That was
But we
the
now,
best. That was the
we now
best.
check
I think
about
that's what I
15
was like,
times. We've been hearing about it, but we'd love to hear if you can explain a bit more about the system and how it helps women in leadership positions overcome the common challenges that you see.
Absolutely. So when you think about the G-Force code, it's a combination of 3 elements or 3 keys: grit, growth, and gumption. And when those combine, you have this great acceleration, so much like G-Force. So when you think about grit, a lot of people think it's just roll up your sleeves and grind. And there's so much more to that. So when we examine grit in the book, it is about adaptability. We all are challenged every day in our changing industry, in our lives, to adapt to situations. Then you've got the self-discipline, which is a lot of what people attribute to grit. I know what I've got to do. I'm going to get it done. And then the third piece is resilience. And we really dig deep into resilience in the book. And when we think about resilience, it's not only adapting and pushing through, but it's coming out on the other side, not completely bruised and battered, because you had a little self-care with it. And then I'm going to skip over to the gumption piece. Women need more gumption. I feel like I've had pretty good gumption. My mom was a single mom and an entrepreneur. So my sister and I saw her like failing and making things happen that financially weren't supposed to happen. And it was just, she set that bar for us that you have to go for what you want. So the gumption, learning how to make strategic decisions and learning to be comfortable with failure, I felt like I was pretty good at that. Where I was and where the magic really happened for me when I established this understanding of what the G-Force code is the growth piece. And that was my Achilles heel, as I spoke about being an early emerging leader. It was low empathy, really low empathy. I felt like, and we do this with other women, just do what I do. Like, why is she trying to reinvent the wheel or do something differently? I didn't understand my team and what their needs were. I had really low emotional intelligence as well. And so when I was giving and receiving constructive criticism, it wouldn't always land right. And so when I figured out that middle piece, the growth piece, I feel like when we can combine all 3 of those, or figure out really where you're low and where you're high, we can start to level things out so you're in flow with G-Force.
Awesome.
Amazing. I'm gonna have to do some work on myself.
That's what it's about. We all have areas that we can strengthen, but also celebrating areas where if you take the assessment, you're like, wow, I'm actually really high in this area. So celebrate that too.
Yeah, you bet. It's important. So then our next question here is for you is, over your career, you've made significant contributions, especially towards women's empowerment. And just speaking to you today, I'm already empowered and already motivated. And I can't wait to just do more. What achievement are you most proud of, and why?
I would say being a mother. That's an easy one. My daughter saw me grinding so hard in my early 30s, and I was so afraid that she was seeing all this stress and seeing all the waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that I was lacking as a mom. And but I just continue to trust in the understanding that my mom did the same thing, and my sister and I turned out just fine. So I would say being a mom is one of my most proud accomplishments. In the industry, I would say helping foster the careers of young insurance professionals is pretty high up there. And then the third, writing this book. There's no secret formula for the book, but I feel like if every person that picks it up can take one thing away from it, then I've done my job. And so the goal is really to get the book to 1 million women by 2026. And I'd like to hit that before, but if we can all kind of start speaking the same language, then we can really start to move the needle and turn things in a really positive direction.
I 100% agree with that, Tinsley. And I love the work that you're doing in that area. It's so meaningful.
And I'm so glad that we're a part of it now and we can help you
Yay.
hit that target. I can't wait to celebrate with you when you hit 1 million.
And I'm so excited that you're going to be sharing this with the women of Canada.
There you go. Whole new
Listen,
market.
like Diane and I said, we're going to figure out a way to Canada, and
Yeah.
you know, it's we're going to manifest it. It's going to happen. I know it, Tinsley.
Done.
Yeah.
I guess you've kind of answered our next question that we have outlined here. We were going to ask, how do you define transformational leadership, and why do you think it's essential for women in today's professional landscape? You've kind of touched on bits and pieces of that already, but
sure. I really equate transformational leadership is confident leadership, and confidence is not cocky. It's not I know everything and I have this ego that I'm the leader of all leaders. It's really just showing up daily and walking into work or logging on to work and saying, okay, I know that I've got these levels of grit, growth, and gumption with me, and I'm working on these things. But I feel like today, because I've done these strategies or practiced these tips, I'm better than I was yesterday, and I'm more equipped to handle the challenges that maybe I wasn't equipped to handle a month ago. So I would say transformational leadership happens over time, and it's just really establishing that okay, bring it on. I'm ready for the day. This might look a little bleak, the situation I'm heading into, but I feel well equipped to tackle it with the team that I'm building.
Amazing. And our final question is looking ahead.
Yes.
So Tinsley, okay, you have this book that's out. You want to hit 1 million downloads. What are you most excited about, or any initiatives you're excited about that's going to happen in the near future?
Getting the print books into everybody's hand. It
Yes.
is available on Kindle. So I want to see 1 million women posting on their feeds with that book. And one takeaway. So like when I think about big bucket list type thing, it's seeing women from all over the world post with my book and shouting out something that they're doing or that they're tackling or something that they're trying that maybe they were scared to tackle the day before. So it's the pictures. I just want to see as many pictures as possible of women with great big smiles on their faces. And that they know and that they can look in the mirror each morning and believe in themselves, because every single woman out there has so much greatness within her. And I just want her to understand that I see it and she needs to see it as well.
Amazing. Well, we're going to help you because ladies, if you're listening, I want you to go to, and Diane has the link that works in Canada. We had some trouble downloading this book. We're going to link Diane's link in the description box. Download it, read it, and post and take 5 other women on LinkedIn who you think should read that book. Because I already know a few women in the back of my mind as I'm reading this that would have a huge impact. And we're going to make this book our book club book for the Risktakers and Trailblazers podcast, book of the month in May. And we're going to post little quotes and passages from the book every week in May. So please, everybody, download it. Let's get to 1 million. We can do this. Let's do it. 1 million downloads. We got this.
I love it. And Tanya, I just want to add one thing. This book is not just my perspective. There are 14 other women in this book in my G-Force tribe, from healthcare, from banking, from public, that have all contributed to support the strategies with their own wisdom. And so this book is not just for insurance women. This book is for all women of all industries and in various stages in their career. So yes, so happy to be here with you today.
Tinsley, we love having you here. We can't wait to do our full episode with you next month. And yeah, we're going to get there. you're like it's already such a great book that I've only read the first couple chapters because my toddler kept interrupting me this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's going to have an impact on women. I know it. So thank you for doing the research and for getting those perspectives and for really highlighting the key things we need to do.
And thank you for everything you're doing for women. It's so exciting.